What is going on, everybody? It is your sweet Papa Yam here, back at it once again to give you an affordable helmet shootout. Whether you're a beginner rider or an experienced rider, today we're covering 4 of our favorite picks of new helmets for 2023 that are going to fit based on your budget and your style. Let's get into it. For today's test, we are featuring 4 reasonably priced helmets that a beginner rider might choose. These are all full-face, safety-rated helmets that will look good on a sport bike, naked bike, cruiser, or touring bike. We're going to ride with all of these helmets and give you guys a complete breakdown of which one we would choose if we were a beginner and which one is the best overall. Starting us off, our budget entry-level choice is the tried and true Speed and Strength SS900. The Speed and Strength SS900 provides dual safety ratings, modern and street-savvy looks, and an interior that's pillow soft, all for just $109.95. This is our #1 seller on the yamanoob.co store, and it's for good reason. It's a perfect helmet whether you're building your first kit or want to reinvent your look. The SS900's protective ABS shell and dual-density EPS impact liner creates a helmet that meets or exceeds DOT and ECE 22.05 standards, with the added benefit of an optically correct anti-fog and anti-scratch face shield and pliable rubber breath. The washable plush comfort liner and adjustable air ventilation system brings added layers of luxury to a helmet that's already priced to help you work less and ride more. The SS900 is a subtle and aggressive helmet with a sleek ventilation scheme. Thanks to its low weight and flat panel optically correct shield, the SS900 doesn't put a strain on your neck, your vision, or your wallet. The helmet is light at 3.7 pounds and it comes in a matte gloss black or a matte white. It also comes with a tinted visor right out of the box. Our next helmet is a real knockout hit for the price. It's the Scorpion EXO R420. This is another helmet that has been flying off our shelves, so we really wanted to put it through its paces today and see if it stacks up to its very reasonable $164.95 price point. It's a stylized, functional, safety-rated helmet that doesn't break the bank, and better yet, it's 10% off right now on our store at yamanoob.co, so it's an even sweeter deal for you. It's a Snell-approved full-face helmet that goes way beyond expectations at this price point. The EXO R420 shatters the mold of sub-$200 helmets, delivering cutting-edge materials and performance features while fitting perfectly on the most common intermediate oval head shapes, and complete with dual safety homologation, which is a rare feat found in helmets that cost twice, even 3 times this price point. The Scorpion EXO R420 is not just another run-of-the-mill bargain-priced helmet. Boasting an advanced LG polycarbonate shell that's earned the esteemed Snell approval, the Elliptech 2 face shield embraces your visage with a snug fit, enabling unparalleled aerodynamics. This helmet also comes with the emergency release system in the cheek pads, while the washable feature ensures cleanliness even in the most intense riding conditions. The possibilities are endless with the Scorpion EXO R420, given the different colorways and liveries you can get for it. Despite not having an ECE rating, it achieves a higher standard by having a Snell rating, which is usually reserved for the likes of Arai, Shoei, and other ultra top-end brands. It weighs in at a featherweight 3.5 pounds as well. It's got a great ventilation capability for the price, and you can easily swap out the face shield without the use of a tool. Smoked or tinted visors are sold separately for this lid. Our next helmet is a jump up in price, but it comes with features you'd find in a flagship helmet. It's the venerable Bell Qualifier DLX with MIPS technology. The Bell Qualifier DLX helmet comes jam-packed with great features from the Qualifier and also includes the Transitions adaptive face shield at an impressive price. The Pro Tint photochromatic face shield adjusts to any light conditions that you'll encounter, plus comes with an integrated audio compartment for your electronics. That's rare for an entry-level price point. At $289.95, it's definitely a jump up in price, but you can feel the difference immediately. This helmet is DOT and ECE rated, and it utilizes MIPS multi-directional impact protection systems for dramatic improved rotational impact energy displacement. This is really important for reducing concussions and rotation of the head whenever you're in an accident. We think the Bell is a fantastic option for those who want more comfort features and don't want to break the bank before they enter the $500 price bracket. Our last helmet option is the Splurge option. This is for beginner riders who want all the safety features and benefits of a flagship model, but don't necessarily want to drop close to $1,000 for a helmet. Enter the Shoei RF-SR helmet. Optimized for upright riding, the RF-SR has a streamlined, low-profile shell, redesigned vents, and a tighter face shield seal than its predecessor, Quest. The Shoei RF-SR helmet takes every step possible to deliver a quiet and comfortable ride. The CWR1 shield is held firmly against the eye port using a constant tension sprung hinge design. This greatly reduces opportunities for wind ingress. The exterior shell of the RF-SR is wind tunnel optimized and manufactured in multiple sizes to keep the outer envelope as small as possible. A smaller exterior shell translates directly into less turbulence, neck strain, and total weight. Elements of the padded liner are interchangeable to dial in the perfect fit. Each RF-SR is handmade in Japan to the highest standards and easily surpasses DOT and Snell M2020 safety certifications. At $479.99, this is the most money we'd recommend for a beginner rider to spend on their first helmet, but you are getting the best of the best when it comes to your lid. Now, after spending the day riding around with these helmets, which ones would we pick?
Let's go over all of these helmets and find out which one's going to be best for you. Let's start off with the cheapest option, the SS900 from Speed and Strength. Brandon, I thought this was a pretty good helmet. For the fit, we rated it as a 4.5, a little lower.
It depends a lot on your head size too. I have a bit more of a roundish head than I believe you do. And I had not pressure, but you could definitely tell the helmet was gripping me up top.
Yeah. This is a helmet that I might want to size up a little bit. We had this one in a medium. I might want to go for a large because I did feel a little bit of pressure right here. And so the fit was okay for what it was.
Yeah.
Finish and features, we rated it a 5 on the finish and features. And why is that, Brandon?
You know, actually, I was surprised at that helmet. It had a really, really good seal. I had to bring it back down. Actually, if I was just judging it off the seal of the visor, I probably would have given it an 8, honestly.
Yeah.
But the way the buttons worked for the vents and everything like that, it just didn't feel up to quality. The strap felt not all quite there.
Yeah,
exactly. But I was very impressed by the seal.
Yeah, and I think, again, it's a very entry-level budget helmet. You have to keep that in mind. You have to keep your expectations a little bit lower. This is not going to feel like the Shoei. It's just not. It's just going to have a different price point. But I think it's great for the price point. In terms of noise, this is where I was actually pretty surprised. We rated the SS900 a 6. You would imagine a helmet at this price point is super loud, super noisy. It just feels like you're wearing a plastic bucket over your head, but it's not quite that, right?
Exactly. It was actually pretty surprising. We didn't get a whole lot of resonating. You did notice the wind a bit more, but it wasn't bad at all. It was very surprising, very middle of the road, if you will.
Yeah, you would imagine at the price point it'd be lower on the road,
exactly.
But middle of the road, pretty good. For buffeting, the SS900, we actually rated it pretty high, a 7.
Yeah, your head didn't move around a lot, very little.
No.
Even next to 18-wheelers and stuff like that, it moved very, very little. It was very manageable.
So for being a DOT helmet, ECE rated helmet at $110 with an average of 5.5 on our score, I think this helmet does qualify as the middle of the road option. Yeah. Punching way above its price point, honestly.
Way, way above its price point, absolutely.
Yeah. But now we talk about the Scorpion R420. This helmet has been a very popular helmet on our store. We've seen really, really positive feedback, so we wanted to test it thoroughly and see how it fit. And for the fit, we actually rated it a 6. Yeah. Why is that?
Same actually points that we can go to the Scorpion, but the pads felt higher quality. It was more form-fitting around the chin area that I felt. But actually, I'm gonna make this one my daily. Honestly, this is actually a pretty good helmet, I think, in especially the fit area for the amount of time that we're wearing it as a daily. I believe it's really, really good.
I think this helmet over the SS900 you can wear for longer and without having it kind of run into those kind of cheaper components. This is a helmet I'd be happy to wear for 5-6 hours in the saddle. The SS900, I would maybe want to limit it to 2 hours, to be honest.
Maybe get up around town, just going to work, perfect helmet. Longer rides, we definitely go for probably more of the Scorpion.
Which is the thing, you know, if you're a beginner rider, you're probably not doing 7 hours in the saddle. You're probably doing 2 hours, kind of feeling things out, so that's why it is a great option for the SS900. But moving on, the finish and features on the Scorpion, we rated it a 6 as well.
Yeah, and I actually wasn't surprised about the seal. It sealed, but it wasn't actually as good as the SS900, I felt. But we had to give it back some score because the way the vents actuated and the way it just felt in general, it felt higher quality. So it got the higher score.
The Scorpion doesn't really feel like a super entry-level helmet. It actually feels closer to stuff like the Bell and the Shoei, which we're going to get into, which is cool because, again, $165, that's pretty awesome to have it feel like that.
Punching above its weight class yet again.
For sure. Now the noise, we rated this one an 8.
Yeah,
we really like the noise on
very
this.
Solid choice for this one. Again, I feel like it went down to more of the form of the pads around the ears. That's where it excelled, honestly. It did everything really, really well.
Yeah, I was amazed. Highway speeds, exhaust noise with the ZX4, earplugs in, feels like an upmarket helmet, doesn't feel entry level.
Yep. And with all of these helmets that we did here, We did the same route, the same bike, the same earplugs that we normally wear. Everything was the same to keep it as consistent as possible.
Yeah, and so rounding that out, Brandon, the buffeting, we rated it a 6 for the Scorpion. Why is that?
This is where it kind of got a little iffy, because straight line, you're keeping your head straight, you're doing what you need to do, it works perfectly. But when you turn your head to check your blind spot and look around and see the surrounding, it caught the edge of the front of the helmet, which makes a bit of sense. This is the most angular helmet here.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it would do that. It's not horrible, but after a long ride, you would notice.
Yeah. Yeah, the Scorpion, you know, we rated it a combined score of 6.5 out of 10. It has some really cool colorways. It has a cool shape to it, if that's important to you. It's got this cool arrow look to it. You know, even stuff like the Arise, they have those kind of old school rounded shapes. If you want to look more modern, more, you know, with it, the Scorpion's a cool option. So $165 gets it done for that helmet. Really, really great choice. But now we're coming on to my favorite, to be honest. The Bell Qualifier DLX. I was super blown away with this helmet, man. I really, really liked it. So for fit, we rated it a 7.5 out of 10 combined score. Now, I wanted to hear why you rated it a little bit lower on the fit.
So I rated it a little bit lower. Actually, this shell shape used to be the old Race Star before they went to the new angular forms, and it worked great. However, again, I felt a lot of pressure on the top of my head, which I have more of a roundish head.
Yeah,
so
you're not an intermediate oval,
exactly,
you're more round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you got that oval shaped head, that fits phenomenally.
Yeah.
I had to, just for me personally, I had to give it a lower score just because of my own head shape.
For my fit, as soon as I put this helmet on, I was like, I'm home. Like, this is it, perfect fit. I really, really like it. I actually had a Bell Race Star that I really liked, but it just ended up being a little too small for me. But if I could, I'd wear the helmet all the time, because the next thing I want to talk about is finish and features. And we rated this helmet a 6.5 out of 10. Now, you rated a little bit lower, I rated a little bit higher, because I think the photochromatic lens right out of the box stock is super cool. For the all-day rider, going from day to night, night to day, super cool.
Yep. But me personally, I wanted to take the photochromatic out, because if I put it in, it would actually be a lower score. It is a cool feature to have probably on the day-to-day. It doesn't affect you. It's very beneficial. However, on those certain occasions, if you are dailying a motorcycle, rain, sleet, snow, you know, sunshine, it will be affected. And I've already had instances where it's cloudy outside, the UV index is high, and you have a tinted visor and you can't see.
Yeah, it is. It can be a deterrent.
Yep.
I thought the venting system worked really well.
It does. Very well.
I thought the visor seal and everything else worked really well. I was really impressed with the finish. It feels like a super premium helmet.
It does. For the jump in price, it should feel.
Yes.
The only part that I had to do was just because of the photochromatic, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So noise level on the Bell, we rated an 8.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's super quiet. It's great. There's nothing really to say bad about it.
And again, that goes down to the form around the ears, the ears and the cheekbones area. That's where most of your noise is going to be coming from anyways.
Yep.
And it does that really, really well.
Yeah, despite having a lot of venting and a lot of ventilation, the noise level is really not that high. For buffeting, we rated it an 8 as well. Yep. Really liked it, right?
Really, really liked it. You get minor buffeting. Again, on those long rides that you're just sitting behind an 18-wheeler, yeah, you'll probably start feeling it. But you can turn your head. It's the same around all angles. It's a very good, at its price point, again, very good.
So $290 gets it done for the Bell. It's giving us a 7.5 combined score. So really, really solid on the Bell. We really liked it. And now we move on to the kind of Apex Predator beginner helmet and your favorite.
My personal favorite, honestly.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Shoei RF-SR. This is Shoei's kind of entry-level helmet, their lowest price helmet, so to speak. So we kind of included it in here. If you're a beginner rider that wants the name brand, you want something a little bit nicer, you know, you're buying like maybe a Ducati as your first bike, a Monster or something. You don't want to be on an SS900. Let's be real. You want to get a Shoei. So the fit, we rated it as an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and
it's nice, man.
This came down to the pads, honestly.
Yeah, the pads are so nice.
You could tell the difference, especially when you jump from an SS900 or the Scorpion to the Shoeis. Just the pads alone, it felt phenomenal. My head felt right at home. The more roundish your head is, that's the fit for you.
For sure.
And Shoei has the same or similar shell shapes around all of their helmets, so you can stick with Shoei. If you know one fits, it's gonna fit.
So one thing I wanted to mention, if you want to think about this in a certain way, the SS900's interior is like a Toyota Corolla. The Shoei is like a fully loaded BMW 7 Series.
Yeah.
Okay, like it just feels nicer to be in.
The seats,
you know,
they hug you.
yeah, like everything you touch feels nice and just it feels primo. You know, it's nice.
Exactly.
But again, if you're just trying to get around, the Toyota Corolla is the way to go, right? You don't need a BMW 7 Series. So finish and features on the Shoei. Again, we rated it an 8. It's very high. One of the coolest things I liked on this helmet is this ultra fine refinement of the visor.
Exactly.
That's super cool.
Any position you put it in, it's not nearly as fine. The bell, you can feel that you can
Yeah.
put it in any movement, but it feels like it will move from that movement very easily. The Shoei, it's locked in. That visor's not going to move once you put it into that spot.
Yeah.
It had the best seal, I believe, the best airflow, I believe, in my
Oh, the
personal
airflow
opinion.
is awesome. You crack open these top vents, you literally feel like two little, like someone's like blowing through a straw right on your head. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I believe that's why, for me, just these two categories alone, that's my personal favorite.
Yes,
Honestly.
it's really nice. Now, noise level, again, it's not going to surprise you. The Shoei is an 8. It's super quiet. It's super refined. For me personally, and I get it, the Shoei's a little bit more race oriented, you know, I felt like it's a little shallow towards my ears. So I could see a situation where if you're not full tuck, you're not really getting after it, you might get some wind coming up in there a little bit, but overall it seals really well around the cups here in the ear.
Definitely, if you're in the rain and you run into that situation, yeah. your high neck, you know, your lower
Right
ear,
around here.
your lower ear area is definitely going to get wet. That's an absolute thing to take in consideration. But my experience is at the track where you're getting after it, and that is why I'm so used to them and love them so much.
Yeah. Now, last category for the Shoei is buffeting. I know you have a lot to say about this. Rated at a 9.
Yep. My head personally didn't move at all.
Yeah.
I was looking around, no movement. I let go of the handlebars just to get the feel of
Brandon
what the,
stood up on the foot peg.
just to
He's
get
just
the
going
feel.
T-posing on the bike, you know.
It did everything phenomenal. I
Yeah.
feel like we can't put it at 10 because helmets are always being
Nothing in
developed.
life is a 10.
Exactly. There's always something better. You just have to find it.
Exactly.
But a 9, I felt I had to give it that 9.
Yeah. Yeah, and it should come no surprise. The Shoei comes in at almost $500. It's, for some people, an eye-watering amount of money to spend on a first helmet. We personally think that you shouldn't skimp on your first helmet, but it did rate a combined 8.5 out of 10 for the Shoei. But that begs the question, Brandon, what is your beginner choice and what is your overall choice? Because you have to balance the two.
We know my overall choice.
Overall is the show.
It's very, very, very clear where I would have put it.
Money buys nice things,
Yes,
folks.
it does.
Yeah.
And their helmets are especially, it's one of those things that you spend more money, you can tell what you're getting.
Yeah,
And
you get comfort, you get features.
there's a reason there's a $1,000 plus helmet out there. There's reasons for it.
Yeah.
And you can tell. Even if you jumped from a $1,000 Shoei to this 480, you would know the difference.
And if you take riding seriously, you know, spend that money. Like I personally wear a Rye Corsair X. That's a $1,000 helmet. And that's because I take riding seriously and I want to feel good in it.
Exactly. But my beginner helmet, honestly, for me, I'm serious. I'm going to probably go for the Scorpion. I'm probably going to end up daily in one of those. They're nice helmets, get up around town. I don't do a whole lot of long rides where the buffeting would be a factor for me. So personally, my choice for beginner or even just a daily helmet would be the Scorpion.
Yeah, the Scorpion's a solid choice for your first helmet. We've seen that with sales on the store. People love them. But I got to say, my overall favorite was actually the Bell. I did like the Bell more than the Shoei. I felt like I said, when I put it on my head, I was immediately at home. And you and I have slightly different head shapes, right? I'm an intermediate oval, you're a round.
Exactly.
Both of these helmets can work for that. Some are more optimized for others, but I just felt like the Bell, photochromatic lens, perfect fit. I really, really vibed with it. That would be my overall choice. However, for the beginner rider, I'm torn, honestly, because I totally see where you're coming from with this one. You spend a little bit more money, you get a lot more helmet here over the SS900. But if you're just trying to get started riding, this is DOT ECU rated. This will get the job done. I think this is a great helmet. If you don't want to spend an extra $55, totally cool. But I implore you, scrape the couch cushions, you know, scrounge it out a little bit, find those extra $55. The Scorpion is a fantastic option for a first helmet. I really, really like it.
Yeah, and honestly, I can see where you're coming from. The speed and strength did really, really well. It's way above its weight class.
$110.
Way above its weight class. It arguably had one of the best seals here. I believe it's Shoei to speed and strength on just visor seal alone. It had a really good helmet. So that helmet is a very strong choice. me personally, just because I feel my head's more at home for my shape at least, the Scorpion's the way to go.
It's true. And you can get this one in some cool graphics as well. Well, folks, that's going to wrap up our helmet shootout. Let us know below which helmet you liked best, or if you have another option we didn't include here and we should have included it. And remember, the SS900 and the Scorpion are available on yamanoob.co. Pick up a helmet. We actually have a cool sale going on right now for the Scorpion, so let us know down below what you think about all of this. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Brother, only one thing to say to you today. While we sit here, taking a knee, it's a special moment, me and you hanging out here. Do it. I don't even got to tell you what to do. You already know what to do. You've made it to the end of the video. You got the time. I know you're sitting there. You want to make sure that you can keep watching yourself some Yami Noob. So what you want to do, just click that video right over here. Do it.